personal perspective, personally, I did not read any Ncrt because I had two ideas.
But the people who have already enrolled for the coaching, I think they will be taught there from the very basics.
Why are you repeating the effort?
Yeah, exactly.
Go and attend the classes properly. You have given money. You have given money to someone to teach you properly. So go to class properly, listen to it,
True.
take proper notes.
तो एक बच्चा मेरे पास आता है कि सर NCRT पढ़ना है. मैंने कहा यार अभी पढ़ लिया है, तू PVQs देख ले. कहता सर अंदर से आवाज़ नहीं आ रही, मन नहीं कर रहा. मैंने कहा क्यों? सर YouTube पे देखा था. So I think how to use the social media and whom to trust.
Yes.
That also plays an important role. Prelims से कितने दिन पहले मेंस के subjects like ethics and optionals को break देना चाहिए.
There is a rule called 80-20 rule. Do 20% of the mark, 20% effort to get 80% of the marks. Don't go behind every question.
Hello everyone, welcome to Pathfinder by Unacademy, your one-stop podcast for everything related to UPSC Civil Service Examination. I'm Vinith Thaplu, your host, who has been the part of the journey myself. Whether you are a beginner or having a last attempt, today in this podcast, we will inspire you, motivate you and guide you to do best in your upcoming prelims. Today I am having with me 2024 batch officers Ashiq, Hussain and Harshit Raj Singh. I welcome both of you to our channel.
Thank you.
Today we will try to break the complex topics syllabus, revision, prelims and time management, and they will guide you about all these complexities. I welcome again both of you.
Thank you.
We have received a lot of queries through emails. Students have texted us. They have a lot of questions regarding upcoming prelims. So I think you both will be the best one to solve all their doubts. So I have few questions. I will first come to you, Harshit.
Yeah.
How should aspirant prioritize topics in the last 100 days of the preparation of prelims?
I think the paper itself gives the answer. The major topics which you can incorporate in your preparation can be, I think, 5 subjects are major. Polity is there, economics is there, history is there, modern history, geography is there, and economics. Environment is there. So I think prioritizing these 5 topics, because they constitute the major chunk of prelims and they are very staticky. So I think these 5 should be the major ones.
Specifically when we talk about environment and ecology, in last few years we have seen there has been a lot of questions which are unexpected, not directly from the syllabus part, like maybe from the core biology part. How to tackle all that part?
I think there needs to be a general awareness that since the pattern of your environment is changing a lot and it's going from the bookish to the, like you said, the applied and stuff. So I think we need to be very well aware about what's going on, and UPSC itself is not checking the bookish stuff, but they are also going beyond it. Like I think the animals, there was a squirrel question also.
True.
We have to be on our toes regarding these questions and not stick to the static books and the notes that have been given.
Another question to you, Ashiq. There is a question asked by one of the aspirant. Did you stick to your original study material or did you incorporate new summaries and compilations in the final days?
First of all, I want to welcome all the UPSC aspirants who are watching this. So my name is Ashiq Hussain, and regarding the question that you have asked, I think note making is one which was very qualified. I was very qualified in. My notes are very dynamic, in the sense that the notes are not static. Because generally aspirants have this idea that you once make your notes, you just stick with it. That's all. You don't add anything. But UPSC doesn't work like that. UPSC wants you to constantly update yourself, constantly renew yourself. So my take would be on it. The static, you would have the proper notes. Then after that, you have to keep adding some statics or some current affairs that is coming. So your notes must be dynamic. Yes.
दोस्तों वीडियो में आगे बढ़ने से पहले एक बहुत ही ज़रूरी अनाउंसमेंट। देखिए अनअकैडमी हमेशा से आपकी तैयारी को यूपीएससी की आसान बनाता हुआ आ रहा है, और इसी कड़ी में आगे बढ़ते हुए आपके जीएस फाउंडेशन कोर्स के जो बैचेज हैं आपके ऑफलाइन सेंटर पर, वो जल्दी ही शुरू होने वाले हैं, और एक बहुत ही स्पेशल प्राइस पर, जो कि है 59,999 ऑनवर्ड्स। देखिए दिल्ली में मुखर्जी नगर सेंटर पर आपके जो बैचेस हैं वो 25 फरवरी से शुरू होने वाले हैं। इसी के साथ ORN सेंटर पर आपके बैचेस 14 फरवरी से शुरू होंगे। इसके अलावा बात की जाए उत्तर प्रदेश के प्रयागराज के सिविल लाइंस में जो आपका सेंटर है तो वहाँ आपके बैचेस शुरू होने वाले हैं 3 मार्च से। और इसके अलावा आपके नए सेंटर पटना में आपके बैचेस 10 फरवरी से शुरू हो जाएंगे। देखिए डेडिकेटेड CSAT और ऐसे राइटिंग की क्लासेज हैं, 360 डिग्री करंट अफेयर्स का कवरेज मंथली मैगजीन के साथ, 40+ सेक्शनल और फुल लेंथ टेस्ट आपको प्री और मेंस के लिए मिल जाते हैं, कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव कवरेज मिलता है GS का, साथ ही साथ रेगुलर इंटरेक्शन आपके एजुकेटर्स के साथ आपका होगा और 1-to-1 मेंटोरशिप डाउट सॉल्विंग सेशंस भी आपको मिलते हैं। तो आप बिल्कुल भी आपको देर नहीं करनी है, इस वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में आपके लिए एक लिंक अवेलेबल है, उस पर क्लिक करिए, अपनी इन्फॉर्मेशन फिल करिए और जल्दी ही टीम आपसे संपर्क करेगी या फिर आप डायरेक्टली वॉक इन भी कर सकते हैं किसी भी ऑफलाइन सेंटर पर। अब चलते हैं अपने वीडियो में।
Okay. No, what I mean, like incorporation from the sources. One is your static note, which you might have taken some help from the Ncrt or from some reference book. Apart from that, let's say how important newspaper plays a role or current affair magazines play a role, and how much should be incorporated, and what should be the length of the notes.
Okay.
Because normally what we have experienced, students copy paste everything what is given in the book. And if the books, let's say any particular book is of 50 pages, their notes are of 100 pages. So can you guide the aspirants regarding that?
Yeah, I want to address this question in very detail because the journey of UPSC is very long. People go on both extremes. One extreme is people don't take notes at all because they think note taking is waste of time, and then they just mark from the books and think that they can study at the end. Maybe one or two can do it, but majority they would need notes. And on the other extreme is, like you said, the pages would be 50, their notes would be 100. So that is also an other extreme. Both we should not do. So first we should make notes from whatever, if someone is going to a class, take notes from that, and after that value add your notes from the current affairs. First of all, newspaper is the main value addition.
True.
Because the main advantage of newspaper compared to the internet is it's relevant. It's this year. So people or the examiners who are correcting the paper would know the thing that would have happened this year. So they would be like, acha, this banda has written the recent example.
True.
Not writing the old one of the corruption. There was only 25 paise is reaching right now. That is like 20 years back example. But people, when you search for stats in internet, you will get the first, that is the only stat that you will get. So reading the newspaper is important, and one current affairs magazine, just to make sure that you haven't left something important. So you have to value add from newspaper, then current affairs magazine. That's all. You don't have to go too deep into it. And then making notes, the proper guideline that I would give you is each topic must have maximum of 3 pages.
True.
3 pages. Because at the end of the day, in mains, you are not going to write 10 pages. You are going to write just 3 pages.
True.
Minimum 2 pages, maximum 3 pages.
3 pages.
And an optional 4 pages, and that you can stretch somewhat to the 4th page.
True.
So if your notes are like 3 pages, if your brain knows that you have only 3 pages, you will write only which is important. Only which is that is important that you need at the last minute. So that would be my take on that.
As it is said also, now everyone has Google, but how to Google that, no one knows.
Yes. Yeah. And some people prefer offline notes, some people prefer online notes.
True.
Both has its pros and cons, but I basically take from OneNote. OneNote is my go-to because I like to organize my notes, and I have fell in that trap too. I would go to an article, I'll just copy the point, and then I will just put it. And the main problem is you don't give work to your brain. At the end of the day, when you are writing your mains answer, you won't have your laptop or your notes with you. You have only your brain.
True.
Your brain must work there. If you don't condition your brain during notes taking, like how to condense points or how to add 2-3 points in a same point, if you don't condition your brain, at the end of the day, you won't get that much good marks. That is my take, sir.
True. Thank you very much. हर्षित, एक क्वेश्चन आपसे है. एक क्वेश्चन आया एक एस्पिरेंट से. How should one structure daily and weekly revision during the last leg of preparation?
So during the last leg, I mean, we were talking about prelims, right? So last leg of preparations, daily revisions, I personally, I did not partake in the daily revisions, but it was more often like 2-3 days and then weekly ones. But if you go into the daily aspect, I think one should have perfect time slot for it. Okay, I'll be giving 30 minutes to it, not more than that. Plus minus 10 we can go, but you need to bifurcate where your silos are there for studying. So daily, I think you can revise daily what's going on, what you studied, what targets you set for the daily events. And the weekly ones, I think they are the most important ones. Not even during the last leg of the preparation, but overall during the whole preparation. Because like Ashiq said, you have your brain only during the exam. So you need to, I think, etch these things in your mind also. What you studied.
True.
So weekly targets, I think, going for them, you like newspaper. If you start on current affairs base, so newspapers is something that you need to be very well the road with throughout the week ones. And the static portion that's coming on, I think that's very important. So
let's say right now अभी हम अगर देखें तो we are already in the end of the Jan. So it is Feb, March and April. More or less 3 months are there. Students का सबसे बड़ा concern ये होता है कि daily base पे हम 2 सब्जेक्ट रिवाइज करें, 3 सब्जेक्ट लेके रिवाइज करें, कितना टाइम CSAT को दें, और सबसे बड़ा जो कंसर्न है स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, कितने क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस करें, कितने साल पुराने प्रैक्टिस करें और कितने ज़्यादा टेस्ट देने चाहिए. जैसे कुछ लोग बोलेंगे 10,000 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लो, फाइन. सम विल से अनटिल एंड अनलेस आपने 10-20 हज़ार क्वेश्चन नहीं किया तो सिलेक्शन नहीं होगा. तो दिस सेल्फ इवैल्यूएशन, हाउ कैन वन गो थ्रू इट एंड कितने टाइम पीरियड में उनको ये रिवाइज करना चाहिए. और करंट अफेयर्स विच दो प्लेज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल, ये जो करंट अफेयर का पार्ट है लास्ट कितने मंथ्स का उनको पढ़ना चाहिए एंड व्हेन दे शुड स्टॉप रीडिंग इट फॉर द प्रीलिम्स.
So a lot of questions there to unpack. So if I forget something, just keep
I will repeat. I will repeat it.
Okay. So I would like to talk also on the revision because I did that mistake. This was my third attempt, and in my first attempt I did that mistake, which was first I will do all the static. Then after once it gets finished, I will go with the revision. But the UPSC is not vast, but its area is very big that you will never finish a static, but you don't need to finish that in that perfect sense. You don't need perfection in this. So a revision must be on this is my take on it, because his preparation is different, mine is different.
True.
So whatever is comfortable with you guys, you take it. Revision must be daily, because what I believe in is repetition. Only repetition can etch that memory into your brain. Repeated revisions can etch that memory into your brain. So let's go on an average. A person will study for 8 hours. Since you are asked for the time period of February till February, March, April. So 8 hours per day. What I would say is for February, put 3 hours for revision. 3 hours for revision, 5 hours for other stuff. And in the month of March, make it as 4 hours. And in the month of April, make it as 5 to 6 hours. Because in the month of April, you should not go for anything new as such. Because if you haven't done anything new from May till now, there is no use in going to new now, because the question paper has already been taken.
Yeah. True.
So 6 hours, you can go even for 7 hours for properly. 6 hours is okay. Then for May now, fully revision. Nothing of that sorts, fully revision. And don't go for anything new, because one thing is they have already taken the question paper, and the next thing is you will lose your confidence if you go for something new. So don't go for anything new. Trust me. More than knowledge, this exam concentrates also on your confidence, how you are able to keep yourself calm in difficult situations.
True.
So I know some people who at the last moment they stopped their idea to give the exam. They applied for it, they studied an entire year, but they were so scared that, because there is a perfect sense now. Oh, I haven't done the revision for 4 or 5 times. I haven't done 10,000 questions.
Looking for perfection.
They haven't done 10,000. I will not clear it. So let me not waste my attempt. So they will leave the exam itself, and that has costed them a lot. Because after the exam is over, they will see the question paper, and then they are like, "Arey yaar, this is easy. I mean, this I can also do." And the main focus of prelims is just crossing the cutoff.
True.
Yeah, it's just an entry pass.
Entry pass. So what I would say is be confident, and revision has been covered, and 1 or 2 subjects, I would say minimum 2 subjects, because this is not a mantra or something, just to keep you occupied and not get yourself bored. True. If you study single subject for 3-4 hours, definitely you are going to leave it
after
in
some time.
After
True.
1 week.
Saturation is always there.
Yes. So if you are doing revision for 3 hours, take 2 subjects. If you are doing revision for 4 hours, take 4 subjects or take 3 subjects. If you are doing for 5 hours, take 4 subjects. And let me come to the most important part. Revision is 2 types. People are not knowing the difference between this. One is active revision and another is passive revision. And mostly what we do is passive revision. Like we will take the book, we will take the notes, and then we will read from start. And
Yes, scribble. Okay, I know this. I know this.
and we would have already scribbled in it. We will just keep reading on. And out of the 100%, only like 20% goes into your brain and 10% will stick. Because your brain is not working. You must make this guy work. So that is when he will try to remember stuff.
And it is when we read already what we have scribbled.
Yes.
So at the subconscious mind, we are thinking, ये तो मुझे आता है.
ये तो मुझे आता
तो
है.
मैं क्यों पढूं इसको?
So your brain doesn't register any information.
True.
So if you, what I would suggest is do active revision. If you take a note, if you are seeing the topic of, let's say, air mass in geography,
True.
just close your eyes and then try to remember. Trust me, you will not remember. Your aim is to make your brain remember. You will remember like 2-3 points.
True.
Then after that, you see the notes, you will be like, Acha, I have left these. Then your brain will like, it will also be interested. I was not able to do this, now I will do it better.
True.
So next time, this by this method, if you do like 1 or 2 revisions, I think it would be sufficient. Okay, active revision is very better. If you do 1 active revision, it would be sufficient for 5, equivalent to 5 passive revisions. So active revision is the main thing. And any other?
And as it is said also, the learning by writing is the best way to remember things.
Yes.
So my another question in the same, as I have one go asked a lot many questions. So another part of the question was MCQs. How important role they play? Should students go with the test series available in the market, or their priority should be first the questions which have been asked by the UPSC?
Okay. So in that question, I would say first when you start your preparation, you should have done with the UPSC previous year questions, possibly 5 last year questions. 5 previous year question papers. But this time, since we are not very near to the exam, you can go with the test series that is in the market. True. And stick with 1 if you can. I mean, let's take 38 tests is the normal that is given by any institute, and 38 into 100. 3,800.
True.
And people will think like just 3,800. No. Morning I will do one academy. Afternoon I will do another test series. Evening I will do another test series. That is, I think it's detrimental.
I think it's too much information. Too much information.
Because since UPSC is the highest exam, considered as the highest exam in this country, people have set a standard which is way higher.
Yeah.
And I just know one guy who can do 10,000 questions. He's a friend of mine. I don't think his approach will be useful to majority of the aspirants who are in our country. So stick with 1 question, 1 test series, and analyze the test paper afterwards. That is where the game lies.
Yeah.
You score 0, doesn't matter. You score negative, doesn't matter. You score 2, 3, because our aim is to win the war, not the battles.
True.
Test series are to test us. Like, are we doing well in pressure? Are we able to manage time? Are we able to remember stuff? Are we able to like not make silly mistakes? Because I do make that, like correct will be there or incorrect will be there. I would assume it as correct, but it will be incorrect. Those kind of silly mistakes. So use the test series as a medium to better yourself. Don't care about the marks very much, but care about the analysis after. You have to do the analysis, like how many questions I have gotten right, how many have I gotten wrong, is there any new information in the analysis document which I can incorporate myself.
True.
So that will be the answer.
And as it is said also, test series help you to evaluate yourself, where you stand, how much you need to work further.
Yes.
Because a lot of people have the fear of giving tests. They think कि पहले हम सब खत्म कर लेते हैं, and that syllabus is so vast, you will be never able to finish the syllabus.
And I think, like you said also, active revision is very important. True. So if you go with that strategy, I'll finish the syllabus first, I don't think so. You can not do active revision.
See, I've seen a lot of students who have enrolled in the test series, but that fear of achieving the perfection, they never ever try to attempt those tests. Yes. And in the end, they get so much pressurized. Wastage of money is there, wastage of time is there, and it is more over the wastage of attempt.
Yes.
I think, on a personal take, I think the thing which you have to gain from this test series is not, like Ashiq also said, na, ki analysis part is the prime importance that you should give, but not the marks, because marks will vary and it will be very day dependent also.
True.
So basically you're preparing for the prelims, the D-Day week, as you call it. So basically we need these tools and we need this arsenal to prepare, and analysis is the primary thing. I'll tell you also my personal strategy that I used. Since this was my third attempt, I got selected. So the two prelims, one which I didn't qualify and one which I did. So I sat by every question and I wrote a remark also ki what what exactly I was thinking in the exam hall while I was writing. So analyzing these 100 questions, and not from the perspective of UPSC, but from the perspective of what mistakes I made.
True.
So that was very important, the analysis. So you need this active retention, not in the revision also, but in giving these test series and every sense of preparation you are giving. Very like active revision, I think.
Yeah, we have finished our third attempts. We have got into the services, and I would confidently say I haven't finished the syllabus till now.
Same.
I'm like, lot is yet to be studied, world history. I'm like,
I mean, even the current affairs we are saying, na, every day there's something new. I don't think so you can aspire to go for that ki I'll finish everything up. You need to target the majority of.
Sorry to interrupt you. One more question is there. Let's say any student is appearing for test series, and obviously there are some questions which he or she is not able to attempt, and they get very much conscious. Oh, हमें ये नहीं आता. They are not looking for that out of 100. They are able to attempt 60 questions, but they are concerned for that 1 or 2 questions. यार ये तो हमने पढ़ा नहीं, ये तो हमें पढ़ाया नहीं गया. So how to handle that kind of stress?
And you were saying 1-2 questions. I think when I used to analyze my test series, I was happy that I used to get these 1-2 questions, because the 60 questions that I did correct, they will never be coming in my mind again. But these 1-2 questions, the silly mistakes I did, I still remember these questions even after 4 or 5 years, which I did this mistake. So I think on a personal take, mistakes is something that you should appreciate, because they will teach you more than...
Obviously, we learn from them.
And my take would be UPSC prelims paper can be divided into 3 parts. One is you know it. You can confidently put in A, B, C, D. Second is ये तो मुझे 2 option पता है, 2 पता नहीं. 50-50 or even 67 something. The third would be no, nothing. You would not know even a single sentence of that. And I think UPSC consciously puts in those questions because they want you to be Sachin Tendulkar. You don't have to attempt every ball. You have to find your sweet spot. You're like, acha, this I don't know. I don't have to worry about it. And my strategy would be, I will just cut it. I'm like, I don't want to come back again and then see this and get myself demotivated. Let me just cut this and then take out of my brain. I'm like, this I will not be able to do. So 5-6 questions will go like this. So that is one trick. And then if you take the test series, that is the main purpose of a test series. You won't know questions, you have to learn from them. So you will not know a lot of questions. And my dear fellow aspirants, everyone will try to make their question paper equivalent to UPSC. And they are doing much pretty effort on that. But at the end of the day, nobody is UPSC.
Yeah,
true.
So we wouldn't know what UPSC will ask. So you don't have to worry, I'm not able to do this question, that question. Fail it, learn from it, don't repeat it again, revise it again. And if you are still not able to do it, that question is not worth it. Cut it off.
And that will be a problem for everyone.
Yes.
I mean, I think you need to incorporate this filtering out process now. What's important and what's not important. Because it's not UPSC, these test series are not UPSC prelims. True. And there will be some, like you say, 5-6 redundant questions. And even UPSC, they will appear. So you need to have that clarity of mind ki, acha, I won't be doing this. And this is not ever gonna appear.
And the entire UPSC journey prepares you to be a civil servant.
Yeah.
True. When you go as a DM in your district, you won't have like gazillion dollars or rupees. You don't have like full budget. You will always have a deficit budget.
True.
And you have to prioritize. Okay, this is important. This is not important. And UPSC is testing you in this way. Is he prioritizing this well? Or he just randomly puts it just to get the count? Is he randomly like ticking something? UPSC rewards and also punishes you for that behavior.
True. Even if you see 60% of the paper is from the static part, history, geography, Indian polity, economy with some current affair part, and then some static part of environment and ecology, and then science and technology. So one question people are very much concerned about science and tech.
Okay.
So what should be the strategy to counter the science and technology syllabus as well as the questions?
Okay. Science and technology. First, I want to address one part where
Yeah, sure.
static people always, like, I also heard this, like, there are a lot of static, and there is a clear division between static and current affairs. But as far as in my journey, what I've learned is even UPSC doesn't keep static as static. They will ask the static only if it's linked with some current affairs.
True.
If there is a fundamental right, Article 19, any case that is happening important, they will ask question on fundamental rights of Article 19. They will ask, let's take environment, any wildlife sanctuary. They will link it with some current affairs which would have happened in that wildlife sanctuary. Something would have happened, some case would have happened, some tigers would have died, or unfortunately something would have happened. So don't like strictly separate this.
Yeah, they should not be a
Yeah,
very watertight.
I'm sorry, I'm coming to that only. When we talk about wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, the list is never ending.
Yes.
And I personally, a god or a beast can remember that. So I have seen a lot of students mugging them up. So can you just throw some insight to that? How to tackle this part? Is it that important? Or if a question is coming from wildlife sanctuary, national parks, how a student should approach such type of questions?
Beautiful question, sir. I wanted to address this also because people would be looking at the past year papers, and then they are like, there is one wildlife sanctuary. UPSC is asking wildlife sanctuaries. So there are 500 something wildlife sanctuaries. I will remember everything with every animal, everything.
Not possible.
Humanly not possible. If somebody says that you have to remember, mug up everything, please don't listen to them. My take is on it is read newspaper. Whatever wildlife sanctuary comes into it, whatever is coming into it, just keep a note on it. Just keep a note on that wildlife sanctuary, which state is it in, any important feature, like any river which is flowing.
River flowing, capital if it is.
If there is like 12-15 animals in it, I don't think UPSC will ask such animals.
If a keystone species is there, you can, but otherwise,
some invasive species, keystone species,
Yes.
then that can be a important point there.
Yeah, the wildlife sanctuaries will also come in such a way that there is some invasive species growing in this wildlife sanctuary.
True.
Questions will be on the invasive species or the wildlife sanctuary. So your preparation must be like, there was a beautiful word which Harshit said, cohesion.
Cohesive.
It's not like you read static, then you read current affairs, then you merge it, you keep it separate. It doesn't happen like that. You have to learn it in an integrated manner.
I think the current affairs or the dynamic part is just a marker for which static question is going to come.
Yes, absolutely.
And एक और क्वेश्चन है हर्षित आपसे, बिकॉज आपका ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल भी रहा है, दो जीएस से रिलेटेड है. बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स एस्पिरेंट्स का ये क्वेश्चन रहता है कि मैपिंग कैसे करें, वर्ल्ड मैपिंग, विच आई पर्सनली फील even if UPSC is asking any question related to map or related to any location worldwide, that must be something very general, or maybe that is particularly in the news.
Yeah.
Now what I have seen students following a lot of online sources, they start mugging up South America, North America, Europe, Asia, Africa, all the type of vegetation, all the type of resources, rivers, mountain peaks, highest peak of South America, lowest point. So do you think it is advisable to do?
I think the answer to this lies in analysis of last 5-year question papers also.
True.
And if we are seeing also the trend change that some questions are there which indicates that these are very trendy topics, but the amount of these questions are reducing attempts or prelims by prelims.
True.
I am coming to if you want to do the mapping of these world mapping, be very selective with it.
True.
And you don't have to go into every nitty-gritties. If you want to see, like, you can see from a geography perspective, major peaks, very, 1 or 2 major peaks at most, 1 or 2 major rivers.
True.
Deserts are also there. And the most prime thing you have to see if it's in news.
True.
Now, if it's in news, then you have to be very well versed with it. But I think don't overcomplicate it too much. I have to be very well versed. Like, either 100% completion is not possible at all, even in mapping. So world mapping, I think you need to be very selective.
Like
about it.
Ukraine, Russia was in news, so they might ask the water bodies or straits there. Arctic Council was there in news, so they asked about the North Sea. So anything which is in news, I think that should be better incorporated.
And I don't know about the geography optional. Mine is
No,
answered.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
GS is-
general about
yeah.
GS.
GS I can give an idea on.
Yeah, please.
World is so big, and if you are like remembering everything, hats off to you. But please don't be geo guesses, please.
Yeah, don't
It wastes a lot of time. Whatever comes in the news, like Sir said, something is happening in the North Sea right now. There is a talk on America buying Greenland.
True.
So read something about Greenland. Seas near it. That much is important. Be specific. Don't go like entire North America, entire South America. This is strictly for GS.
And
I don't know about
I think if you take this approach also, na, like being selective and being reading what's going on in the news, na, your notes also get very refined. Because you're reading day by day, you're not collecting it all together and just going in like berserk, like I will study it one by one. So that's a very good key. You have to be vigilant ki what's going on right now and make notes then and there only. Notes will be also very
even in the
fine.
prelims question, sir, UPSC will ask 3 places. You will know 1 place. You wouldn't have even heard the next place. But UPSC will give the option such that you can eliminate that option. So you don't have to know all these 3 options. Concentrate on the news which is happening. That would be my take for Jyoti.
So both have beautifully explained this question, because there was another question which was asked by the aspirant, though you have already addressed it. It was like, how many mock tests you give and when did you stop attempting mock test before the prelims? So you already said April should be the last,
Yes, sir.
and 8 to 9 tests are more than enough.
It's okay. I personally, in my first attempt, I gave 30 something exam, 30 something test.
Okay.
But in my second attempt, I had some foundation ki I've given 30 tests, so I reduced it to 10 tests only. And I think in third attempt, I hardly gave any 2-3 live ones. And regarding how long before you should stop, I think in my personal opinion, 20 days is a very good stopping point where you can stop ki now it's enough, because if you start giving these exams now, the marks gets very, very inflated.
Yes.
If a 120 will inflate your ego, but a 80 will demotivate you, like I don't think so you can perform then. Then that will happen ki over the night you'll just stop appearing for it.
Suddenly you will get...
You need to find a sweet spot ki where does it lie.
And that guy that I told before, he took a test. He got 10 or something. But that was very difficult test. Even I took like 20 or something only. But because of that, he got very demotivated. That was one, I don't know whether it is the decisive factor, but it was one of those factors.
Must have been a variable, because
like as you said, when you first time attempted, you give 30 tests.
Yeah.
So for the beginner, what you suggest, and the person who is having the last attempt, what you suggest?
Basically, to have a baseline, 1 complete test series. 38 tests, that's all. Finish it.
38.
That is baseline. You don't have to be very strict about it, because we can't say 5, we can't say 30. There is 1 proper test series. Any coaching institute, 1 test series, finish it if you can. My personal, what I did was, I tried to take all 38 tests, but not able to. I think I got rolled out at 12 or 13 tests. I was able to do 13 tests, that's all. So aim for 38. If you are not able to do also, be happy with what you have done. But aim for 30.
Analyze your mistakes from that 12 or 13 even.
I think only 3 months are also left, and if you try to go too much, also when will you get the time to analyze it?
Yes.
And without analysis, I don't think so test series is of any use.
So it is same for the beginner and same for the last.
Yes. Proper guideline would be 1 test per week and analyze in the remaining days.
Yeah.
Because that is my personal take on it. This is what I do. I write test on one day. Let's take Monday. I write the test. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I would analyze 20 questions. So 100 questions is done for the week. So 1 test. So 4 tests in February, 4 tests in March, 4 in April. Should come around like 12, 13. I would do some 3 more extra. So 15. So this time I will do 15. That's all.
Okay. So don't read anything after April, because already the paper will be there set. उसके आगे कुछ मत पढ़िए. Give any 1 full-length test series. किसी भी एक institute का लीजिए. And even if you attempt 13-14 tests among that, don't worry that you have skipped the other. Analyze your mistakes from those 12 and 13 tests. Now, another question I would ask you. Real testing environment. Offline test or online test?
I think offline, definitely, because prelims is offline only. I think there's a process I got into very late. This is called simulation, right? You have to simulate what environment you're going to give test in. So offline, even not even sitting on your table or sitting on your study table and giving exam, it creates a very complacency in you. But when you go and give test series on these centers, there's some perception that it's a formal process. It's a formal setup. So it will inculcate this whole how will I give in the prelims examination. So I think
A
offline
real-time test environment.
Yeah, real-time test environment.
I would take on that too, but I prepared from my home. I took an online coaching. So because that was COVID time, I started.
I was coming to that only.
I was preparing during.
There was no other alternative at that time.
No other alternative, and I found it pretty good. Prelims is okay if you do from your home because it's just MCQ questions, and you don't need much practice for circling OMR sheets. But mains, I would advise you, please go and write in a test center, because if you sit and write in your home, I don't think the discipline comes, because 3 hours.
Discipline.
Because what normally people do also, they take a test series. If it is 100 questions, they will attempt 10 questions, then they will take a break, then 5 questions, take a break. But that will never give them a real test environment.
Definitely, sir. I used to simulate, as Harshit said, I tried my best to simulate. What I would do is, I would set the time according to the UPSC time. Like, okay, I will give, this is a GS paper. I will give it in the morning only, 9 o'clock, 9:30. I will keep my watches 9 o'clock or 9:30. Then I would write the test. So that I know that, okay, I see the time in the real exam also, I will see the same time.
True.
So that's how I try to simulate. I try to change places. I did not write from my same table. I used to sit in a different location just to simulate that.
Even
just for that adaptation.
Just for the...
Even my test center was in this Delhi na, so and it's prelims is generally in summer.
It's very hot.
So I used to be like
very hot.
Very hot. So I used to be like I would turn off the AC properly. Ki there won't be any AC or any cooler, and one of my friends also, there was no fan also.
Yes.
And so you have to be very well aware about it, because it would impact your performance. And I like Ashiq said, 9:30 to 11:30. Sometimes I guess this happened with some topper, that there was no watch on no wristwatch and no watch on the wall of the center, but it gave so many tests in this format only that his body also and his hands
was acclimatized to that
acclimatized
condition.
to it. So you need to be prepared for these adversities.
Okay. One more question is there. What specific method or resource did you use to condense and revise current affair? Particular to source, and how you condense it. I will ask this question to both of you.
Condense in what sense?
Like any resource which you are following, how do you condense it? Let's say I will give an example. If you're reading, let's say, Kurukshetra or a Yojana, and there is an article, challenges, Panchayati Raj article is there, challenges and future prospectus. So now this might be given in 3-4 pages. So I'm just giving an example. It can be any other source which you are following. How do you condense it?
Condensing is very important, because the main purpose of notes is to reduce your time of revising. So first I would read fully the particular topic. At the time of reading, I will just mark it in, okay, which are the important lines. So in the next read, I don't have to read everything. Then from the important lines, I would try to write in my own words, not just outrightly copying what is there.
True.
I would first write in my own words. If I'm not able to, then I will see it, so that my brain gets some work. And then I would make sure that I don't separate my static and current affairs. If I read some topic in current affairs, let's say, what shall we take? Some artifact which is found in maybe Sangam age related.
True.
I would take that, I will write that current affairs notes in my static notes nearby to it. So that whenever I revise my static, I can see both my static as well as current affairs.
True.
That was my thing.
And Harshit, your take?
Yeah, I mean, let's just take an example. There was when I was preparing, there was this scheme, MPLAT scheme was very famous.
True.
So since one of my major source of current affairs was newspaper. So for 10 to 11 days, they were constantly producing editorials on these MPLATs. So I think a strategy should be that for 2-3 editorials, you should focus on writing down or jotting down these notes in whatever digital form or Evernote. But after that, you have to be very cautious that if it's repeating information, just ignore it as best as you can. But if there's something new, then you have to incorporate it in your notes. So that's how you can it will get structured properly and there won't be any redundant information.
True, true.
That is how newspaper reading goes down from 4 hours to
Yeah,
45
exactly.
minutes.
45
45
minutes. True.
minutes.
Initially, students take 4 or 5 hours.
Yes, yes, yes.
And one more thing, what specific method or resource do you follow for current affairs apart from newspaper?
Just one current affairs magazine. Anything. I don't want to, this coaching institutes is good, this is good, that is good. I think everyone is taking the source from everywhere.
Everywhere.
So the format would be different, the diagrams would be different, the structuring would be different. But I believe more or less they are the same in my guess.
Covered,
Yeah. So whatever is comfortable to you, whatever you feel it nice. Initially, in my first attempt, I was so scared of very large books, very thick books, which goes above 100 pages.
True.
So I used to follow my own coaching institute's current affairs magazine, which was within like 60 pages. So I was like, okay, first let me do this. In the matter of achieving perfection, I should not just leave it entirely. I should do at least something. So I did with that. Now I moved to other current affairs magazine because now I'm proficient in that thing. I can do more than 100 pages.
You know what to choose from that and what to leave from that.
Yeah,
because
now I
a lot
know.
of things will be repeated.
Yes.
And Harshit, one question to you.
Yeah.
NCRT का रोल प्रिपरेशन में क्या आप सजेस्ट करते हैं? और if you suggest yes, NCRT are important, do you suggest all the NCRTs or some selective NCRTs?
I think personally, I didn't read many of the NCRTs that were available, but history ones are pretty nice for if you want to be, I guess, they ask also this pillar edicts from the 6th class NCRT book.
True.
The mapping and all portions are very important because directly questions come from there. I think there was also this question on when national anthem was there, which place national anthem.
yeah.
So it was given in the footnote of 11th class history NCRT. So NCRT, UPSC seeing as one of the major sources they can take questions from, but you have to be very vigilant that some NCRTs they are not up to the level which UPSC is asking for. Like specifically, I would say I think geography is very good. I think from NCRT perspective,
Especially if you talk about class 12th, human and economy.
Yeah. 11th, 12th, I think they're very
good.
very good. Polity, I think that's Lakshmikant is quite sufficient. I don't think so you have to go for NCRT.
That is enough. That is enough.
So history and geography I would suggest.
Lakshmikant you can update with the current part. Otherwise, the static part is good there.
It's good for 11th, 12th level, but I don't think so. It's good for the UPSC. level, yeah.
UPSC.
But I have to give my take on that. I have to dissect it because NCRT is a very go-to book, or whenever people start UPSC, they go with NCRT. First, we have to look the logic behind it because UPSC is an all-over India exam and they have to be fair to everyone. They should not be just fair to people who have money to buy Lakshmikant. So they have to be fair to everyone from Jammu Kashmir to Andaman Nicobar, from rich to poor, from urban to rural. Everyone should have an opportunity to read the books. So everyone has access to NCRTs. So that is why everyone advocate going towards NCRT because directly or indirectly, questions will mostly revolve around the topics from NCRT. And as Harshit said, it depends on the personal perspective. Personally, I did not read any NCRT because I had two ideas. One, I have already read them during my 6th to 10th and during my school years. And I'm not saying I remember everything. I didn't remember anything. But I know that mota, acha, this happened, something, Battle of Plassey, somewhere it happened, sometime it happened.
Depends how you have studied in school.
Yeah, I did not read it well, I don't remember it well. But I know that I've joined a coaching institute, I've given money properly, and they are going to teach me something and teach me properly also. So I did not want to repeat the same effort again.
Just to interrupt you, a faith is very important.
Yes, and I have given this much money to them and I have joined a coaching institute for properly learning, and I should not, they are also teaching by reading all the NCRTs, all the books.
Obviously.
I should make use of that resources properly. So I did not read Lakshmikant for polity, I just relied on my institute notes. Not even like the book notes, the class notes. Proper class notes added with the test analysis, added with current affairs. I just wanted to keep it very simple. So I did that. And in the case of art and culture, I guess it's important because art and culture is so vast if you go outside. because there are n number of festivals,
True.
n number of artifacts, n number of this and that. So for art and culture, I would advise going for an NCRT. Polity, you don't need it because Lakshmikant is there and class notes are there. Geography, NCRTs are good if you want it, or if you're thinking that okay, my class notes are sufficient, they have taught systematically everything, then it's okay. If you're not going for any coaching, then go for NCRTs. Properly go with NCRTs, but don't go from 6th to 10th. Like I will start from 6th, I will read 7th, I will read 8th, then I will read 9th, then I will read 10th. Don't go like this.
They even repeat 6 to 8 the same, and they
Yes.
9 to they.
So go with the syllabus. I want to read this topic, I want to read about cyclones. Where is it present in NCRT? Go to that. Don't read everything from start till end. That will be wasting a lot of your precious time.
And because already if you're enrolled, for those who are enrolled in the coaching, anyways, you will be taught those things in the class. So it's better to focus on class notes, and there is no need to go repetitive. NCRT bhi pad lo, study material bhi pad lo, internet bhi pad lo.
Yes.
Because in class, in and out, they will teach you that part. And in this era of technology, when you talk about YouTube influencers, a lot of sources are there where they say read this, read that, read from 6th to 12th. And if I can understand those students who are not enrolled for coaching, they can go.
They can.
But the people who have already enrolled for the coaching, I think they will be taught there from the very basics.
Why are you repeating the effort?
Yeah, exactly.
Go and attend the classes properly. You have given money. You have given money to someone to teach you properly. So go to class properly, listen to it,
True.
take proper notes, go and revise it, and then add on from your test analysis, current affairs, newspaper, add on to it. Don't just repeat like I read NCRT polity, now I will do Lakshmikant polity, then I will do another book polity. There is a beautiful saying in my academy. There is a proper poster of some sorts of Bruce Lee. Don't practice 10,000 kicks, practice one kick 10,000 times.
True.
So read one source and stick with it.
I mean, like Ashiq also said, he had a 3 pages note. So if you are reading same thing again and again, you're just duplicating the efforts only.
So why this question came into my mind, and because I was teaching in one of the class, I was about to finish the geomorphology. In and out we discuss everything, and obviously if you talk about geomorphology NCRT, it's full of information. They have not explained the concept in detail. तो एक बच्चा मेरे पास आता है कि सर NCRT पढ़ना है. मैंने कहा यार अभी पढ़ लिया है, तू PYQs देख ले. कहता सर अंदर से आवाज़ नहीं आ रही, मन नहीं कर रहा. मैंने कहा क्यों? सर YouTube पे देखा था. So I think how to use the social media and whom to trust,
Yes.
that also plays an important role. So if you're enrolled in any coaching or any mentorship program, have faith, have trust on them. And best way to see whether you are on the right path is take the PYQs. That is the only legal document which has been issued by the UPSC.
Exactly.
Syllabus and
MCQs.
syllabus and
Don't
exactly,
listen
very
to
right with it.
anyone. Go with the syllabus. Go analyze the PYQs. That is when you will know what
What to
UPSC
read, what to read and what to leave. also.
Otherwise, you will be influenced by anyone and everyone. And please don't go with the YouTube shorts where people will be showing their cupboards with full of NCRTs, full of books, all the maps pasted on all the walls. No.
They don't themselves study that.
Yeah, we need to concise it. Like that's the point of cracking it.
Yes.
That there needs to be a very concise. Like you said, now how many times do we need to revise? If you have that cupboard full of books, you can never finish it in 3 months.
Obviously,
yeah.
I was interacting with some of the selected candidate. Those was our student. First attempt, she couldn't qualify. I asked her what was the reason. You are good in studies. She said the biggest mistake I did, my table was full with multiple resources. Second attempt, I filter out all those unnecessary resources, and that was peaceful to me. So I believe you should have a very limited source. Do value addition rather than expanding your sources.
Exactly, sir. On that note, all we have is 24 hours in a day. And trust me, 8 hours sleep is needed.
Enough.
Because your memory gets formed, your neural network gets formed only during the sleep. So 7 to 8 hours of proper sleep, remaining 16 hours, you can study for 8 hours. If you are consistently studying, you can put in 8 to 9 hours properly. More than that, some might do, but I don't think everyone can do every day for a whole year. So don't overcomplicate by taking a lot of books. You will not have time to read it. That will give you anxiety. then you will not properly listen to the classes. You will not do that properly.
You
also.
spiral down basically.
You will spiral down. You will not listen to the classes also. You will not do this properly also. So stick to one source. If you are going for coaching, listen to it properly, take notes properly. If you think this topic sir has not able to do it justice, if you think like that, then go specifically to the topic, read it. Otherwise, sir has done a very good job. Then why are you going again and reading the same topic?
And one more question. Prelims से कितने दिन पहले मेंस के सब्जेक्ट्स लाइक एथिक्स एंड ऑप्शनल्स को ब्रेक देना चाहिए?
I think 2.5 months personally. I think.
Mine is start of February.
Haan,
Because
3 months.
yeah.
Feb. Yeah.
Because
3 months. Yeah. 2.5 to 3 months.
prelims is a ticket, as Harshit said.
Obviously.
Only if you clear the
then
prelims, you can go into
to the
mains. And this time now, there is people are saying that there is only 80 days, there is only 85 days. Before that, we had 100 days. People had 100 days. So we have to.
It is just a mental construct.
Yeah. If you are having 80 days, every one of us are having 80 days. Don't mistake that. So anyways, and there is a rule called Parkinson's law. I always quote it, which says that the amount of work you have will occupy the amount of time you have. So 80 days, 100 days, 1000 days, you will study the same thing. So leave it like right now after maybe February 15 until Feb 15, and after that fully
Focus on prelims.
So already we are in the end of the Jan. So by the first week of Feb, you can stop preparing for the main subjects and focus more on the prelims part, right?
Trust me, even if you have not done your optional, not taken notes, you will do it after prelims. You will be forced to. You will
compelled to do it.
Yeah. You will be forced to. You will automatically put in extra hours, shorten your notes, use ChatGPT. You will do whatever you have in your hand, and you will make it. So you don't have to worry that much.
One more question is there. When should aspirants start preparing for Csat, and how much time should they allocate for it? Because if you see these days, Csat is getting very tricky and challenging. And I personally believe that this exam, rather than testing your knowledge, is about your analytical skills, about your patience. So about the Csat, when should students start preparing for it? How much time per day they should allocate it?
I think, like you said, analytical skills. So on a personal level, you should analyze how much of an efficiency you have in the Csat. Because I didn't study that much or didn't allot a lot of hours to it on a daily basis. Before the exam, I think for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but that's because I had some engineering background. But you need to analyze that where you are lacking. There's 3 portions. Comprehension is there.
Comprehension, reasoning,
and quantitative. So you need to analyze where your weak spots are there. If a comprehension is something that's you're getting very less marks in your mocks, then you need to read a lot. You need to be very focused on where you are lacking. Is it the guessing part, or is it the reading part, or the speed part? If it's quant or it's the logical reasoning one, the same goes. Like you have to check where you lies. If it's something that requires not much of attention, please don't give it too much value, because then also it will take a lot of time from prelims also.
It's a normal question, a very normal question from the aspirants these days. So prelims is approaching. Just around 3, even less than that month is left. If we say end of the Jan is there, so Feb and March, May to will be like always in the pressure. Kya padna hai, kya nahi padna hai. If any student is weak in the quant part, maths part, which topics should be taken as a priority? Because you are the right people to tell that, because 3-4 attempts you have given. So if a person has to prepare for the quant part, like there is number system, there is permutation combination part, there is DI part, isn't it? And there is probability part. So which portions one should focus where he can get maximum questions?
I want to deal this very detailedly.
Yeah.
Because Csat, not my forte. So I will say what I did. Basically, I wanted to analyze the paper. So what I did was, I think I started in my last attempt. I started with exactly in February. I did one paper, previous year question paper. Basically, the papers are from, I did last 5 years paper, and then I practically sat and wrote a Csat test, and then I analyzed it. Like how much time am I taking? am I getting good marks in comprehension or am I getting good marks in quants? Because I'm very bad at maths, so my strength was English. And I wanted to test my efficiency also, because people have this wrong perception that in GS generally people say we have to score, we have to attempt a lot of questions, minimum above 85, because the accuracy is very low for most people. But in CSAT, people take the same approach here also, like 80 questions, so I have to attempt 70 questions. That is not the case.
Not the case.
CSAT is qualifying, so your aim is to just cross the 33% qualifying marks. So you have to make sure how many questions you have to attempt. Like my goal was somewhere around 35 to 40. That's all. I make sure that 40 questions, even if I get some 8, 9 wrong, it would add up and then it would cross the cutoff.
True.
In my second attempt, I crossed it by, I got 68. In my last attempt, this is the recent attempt, I got 69. That is not an accident. I planned it properly. I am good in English. I will do this because it's 2.5 marks. And the negative mark is 0.833. So if you lose it, 2.5 plus 0.833, perceived is 2.5 plus 0.83, it's 3 marks something. So one question or 3 questions will down by 10 marks. So I was very proper on that. On that note, weekly 1 test paper. Previous year ka do last minimum 7 papers or minimum 5 papers, and then sit and analyze. Okay, am I strong in this? Am I weak in this? And then you will find some questions where you will find it easy, but you don't know the formula. Like some manpower work, time hours. You would know it, but you don't know the formula. So sit and study the formulas for it. Then there will be some questions you would not know at all. Like even if you remember the formulas, it would be difficult, just skip it. And English, if you are good with it, stick with English and analyze it so that you judge the output of UPSC, like what they are expecting. Because you might be thinking something regarding the answer, but the answer might be different. Know the mindset behind it. So English is that. Maths is just properly target the questions.
I think. Maths, honestly, the quant part you said, they have been varying these topics. I think percentages and all is very important, but the key funda to maths and CSAT is practicing them. If you're not practicing them enough, I don't think so in the pressure of CSAT or the pressure of examination all you can do it.
No, the question is, the syllabus is so vast. Let's say people normally take RS Agarwal. I have seen a lot of people doing. But I don't think anyone can learn that whole mathematics of RS Agarwal in 5 or 6 months.
But like Ashiq also said, you have like 5 years previous question paper, and I think coaching test series, I think these 2 sources are enough.
So if we cut it short, it means a person should be very well knowing what are his fortes, where he is strong. If anyone is good in reasoning part and comprehension, then he should focus more on that, and then selectively choose the portions from the quant part. And if someone is good in the quant part and not good in the English part or reasoning part, then he should focus more on the quant part.
You need to know where your strong points are.
Yes. Max you can ask from anywhere, any questions. But UPSC previous year questions is the only go-to in this.
Especially in comprehension.
Comprehension and quants also. And RS Agarwal, if you take a single book, if you do everything, you will not remember the formulas. You will be more qualified to clear.
Time is not there.
Yeah.
And even time is not there.
Yeah, 3 months are left only. You have to be very selective.
Very selective. There is a rule called 80-20 rule. Do 20% of the mark, 20% effort to get 80% of the marks. Don't go behind every question. You have to attend these many questions. So plan according to it.
Since it is qualifying also.
True. I think you have
need to have that sweet spot.
Very well explained it. I have just few more questions. We'll just cut it short. Can you tell me what is your strategy to attempt the question in the prelims, exam hall? Did you complete all in one go or you come back for the revision?
So my personal strategy is very unique, I would say. But I used to do 10 questions of the starting ones and 10 questions of the last one. In my first attempt, I didn't do this, but the learning I had in my first attempt was that UPSC used to curate these things that either they'll put hard questions on the starting or the easy ones, and the easy and hard one in the later stages. So it can happen that your confidence in the starting can dwindle or the confidence in the end can dwindle. So I found this out, this strategy that I'll do 10 on the starting and I'll do 10 from the back. and then I'll mark in the OMR, and in these I have 5 batches, and I'll just then do it like 10, 10, 10.
Okay. So there is one more question. Do guesswork techniques really help in exam? And do you both, question to you, rely on them?
Intelligent guesswork works.
Yeah,
Blind guesswork doesn't.
doesn't.
Intelligent matlab, okay, this animal is a tropical animal, so it might be present in here, or it is a equatorial animal, or it is an Arctic based animal. So you have to do that kind of guesswork, and blindly relying on them doesn't work. It has to be supplement. I mean, knowledge is the main part. You have to take some intelligent guesswork on it. Yes.
One more question to you. What keeps you motivating as the prelims is approaching? Fear factor is among the students. So you have also faced the same phase. So what keeps you motivating in this last stage?
Being methodical, sir. Methodical matlab having a plan. So if you make a plan at the start of the day that you have to study this, and if you finish it by that day, you will automatically get your confidence. You don't have to rely on external confidence. If you don't have any plan, if you go by, I'll just keep on studying, your brain will lose its confidence. Like, it will not have a benchmark. So it will say, your brain will say that you haven't done enough, you can't clear it. It will prop up all those thoughts. But at the end of the day, if you have a checklist, okay, this done, this done, this done, you're a bit like, acha, I have done this, so I can do it. And don't compare yourself to anybody.
True.
Especially at the last leg, someone would say I have studied 3 books. Someone would say I have revised like 5 times. Everyone's journey, mental capacity, luck, everything is different. So you compare yourself with yourself, like the past. Okay, yesterday I did this, today I'm doing this. And at the end of the week, just add your number of hours that you've done. Let's take 8 hours. 8. I've done 40 hours a week. Good.
Can I say just like following your timetable religiously, the way we follow our religion?
Yes.
So if we are stick to our timetable regularly,
Yes.
I think it will keep us motivating till end.
Yes.
And Harshit, one question to you. The role mentors, family and friends that play in this journey, how important it was? Can you just...
I think like Ashiq said, the methodological thing. Motivation, I think, comes in 2 aspects, the philosophical one and the theoretical one. The theoretical one is covered very nicely. But I think the philosophical ones requires these external supports of these mentors, the family, and these friends you have, the circle that you make. Because it can be very lonely journey sitting on a table doing tests, on especially during these 3 months where it requires a lot of concentration and focus.
True.
So you need some time where you can detox yourself, and honestly you're doing this exam to add value to your life. So these are the people, these are the I guess source of motivation which add further to, and they make this journey beautiful also. If without them, I don't think so personally I would have.
Because students have this normal notion, isolate yourself, lock yourself. Yeah. Can I say that results into the depression also?
Yes. I exactly had this idea before coming into UPSC. I thought I will take a room on rent. I will sit there, lock myself, study, become IAS, then come out of the room. But it doesn't work like that. You need human beings are social creatures. Without interaction, you would go into depression. So have a good set of friends, genuine friends, not many friends, but those who care about you. Personally, I send my timetable to my friends, sir. To my mother and my two friends. I used to send my timetable to them, and they'll be like, good job, nicely done, why has the time reduced? They don't care that much, but still they will write something. Good job, a like symbol.
Can I say one more thing keeps us motivating? Making small goals and enjoying while we achieve those small goals. Rather than achieving ki yaar mere ko 100 questions sahi nahi hue. If it is 10 questions you have made correct, we should enjoy, we should feel good on that. And one more thing, already we have talked a lot about it. Can you tell me some common mistakes which aspirants are making in the last 100 days?
I think first, like relying on too much sources, not confining your sources to 2 books or 3 books, and not having perfect notes, not attempting proper test series, and even if you attempt these test series, not analyzing them religiously. These are things I think they need to be focused on. Ki I don't repeat these mistakes, because they can happen, they will happen, but you need to learn ki be very conscious about it. Ki I did this. from now onwards I won't be doing this at all, or be very efficient with it. Ki, acha, I didn't analyze it for past 7 days. Now from now onwards I'll be very diligent with it.
So the last question, though we are running short of time, we could have gone with this discussion. It's a never-ending discussion. So can you give a last-minute advice to the aspirants who are appearing for 2025 prelims?
Keep it simple, plan your day properly, and then note it down, then do it methodical. Don't get demotivated, and most of all, at the end of the April, May, don't go behind new sources, new subjects. I know you didn't have finished, you would have just covered 50% of the syllabus. You didn't have done art and culture well, you didn't have done world history, you wouldn't have done science and tech. No worries. Even if they ask questions, use your common sense. And then, confidence is the key here. Even if you don't know anything, just tell yourself that I will do it. That's all.
So thank you to both of you.
Thank you.
Both our guests are giving you a detailed insight about what to do and what not to do for the upcoming prelims. I will try to sum up it. It's only when you dream, determine, and think what exactly you want to do in your life so that you can make it big in your life. Thank you very much.